What's up, guys? Welcome back to Country Bunkers Trains. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're having a good week. I tell you, over the past several weeks, I've gone on quite the shopping spree. Been picking up some goodies here for the second O-gauge layout. Along with those, I've also received some presents, some more goodies for this layout from friends and family for my birthday and whatnot. Today, I figured we'd check them out. I know some of you really enjoy seeing what goes into the layouts, how we build them and whatnot. So I thought you might get a kick out of seeing what we picked up for the layout over here. I also just recently realized that this month, October 2022, marks the 1-year anniversary since we began reconstruction of this layout. I can't believe it's been a year already. Time flies when you're having fun. Now I do know, looking at the layout overall in its current shape or current position, doesn't really look like a whole lot has happened over the last year. However, I do believe we actually have done quite a few things with this layout over the past year. I figured today we'd do a quick recap and bring everybody back up to speed on what we've been working on with this layout over the last year, as well as for some of our new members of the channel here to see what we've been working on and what we've been working with. The nice thing about this layout is this layout has been like a channel build. Everything that we've done on this layout, just about everything, give or take, has been documented, and we've done a video on it in the past. I'm going to try and include links to the videos in the description below on certain builds and things that we have done on this layout over the past year. And of course, if you have any questions, by all means, feel free to leave a comment below, ask below. Or if you really want, you can find my email in the About page here on the channel. Feel free to drop me a line and I'll try and get back to you ASAP. But anyways, guys, what do you say we go ahead and jump right into it? I first built this layout around 2 or 3 years ago. The original intent was to do a post-war inspired layout, and that's what I went with and ran with. I picked up several cases of good old Menards tubular track, as well as picked up and restored several Lionel O22 switches for the track work. I got all of that together. I picked up a few accessories here and there, not a whole lot, but I got our table together and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I ran this layout in this manner for, like I say, around 2 years or so, something like that. In fact, we actually did one of the channel's most popular videos with this layout, and that was doing a video on the Menards Track and building a layout with the Menards Track. I'll try and include a link to that in the description below. I had a lot of fun with that layout, but I started getting heavier and heavier into the scale-sized engines and rolling stock, and these pieces simply could not handle the small radius curves that were on that layout. The layout comprised of 042 and 031 curves for the track work, so yeah, these pieces just were not going to be able to run on it. I started dismantling the layout. I sold off all the old tubular track and the old switches. I picked up the MTH reel tracks that we're currently using, both new and used, some pre-owned stuff, and we started rebuilding this new layout. The ends of the layout got added on and expanded onto, a little bit fatter, to accommodate the new wider curves. The new track work is comprised of 072 outer loop and 054 inner loop, and we're still planning on doing an 054 upper loop eventually. Eventually we'll get there, I promise. A lot of people ask me what the dimensions of the layout are. The dimensions for this particular layout is, she's 21.5 feet long. The widest point over here is 6 feet and 3 inches to accommodate that 072 track work. Tapers back down over here to the original 4 foot wide that it used to be. And then on that wall over there, the L of the layout, the L is 8 foot wide, and then it comes out to 6 to 8 feet deep. It tapers out the furthest to 8 feet where it comes back to this original 4 foot width of the original table. Again, that's to accommodate the 072 track work or the curve over there as well. Once the new table was built and our track work installed, one of the very first things we did in here, which happens to be probably one of my most favorite things we've done, is installed this new track lighting system with LED lights. I can't say enough how much I enjoy this new lighting setup. On top of being really nice here and in person, these things have helped out immensely with our videos here on the channel. The lights just bring everything to life and make all the colors pop. I can't say enough about them. I would highly recommend checking them out if you were thinking of installing a different light setup in your personal train room. The biggest and most tedious project we've done so far on this layout has definitely been our mountainous cabin in the woods scene. This scene took several months in my spare time to build. And this was my first attempt at scratch building anything. It took me quite a while. There's a lot of cardboard, foam, plaster cloth, rock molds, obviously paints and ground covers that were involved with making this scene, but I think it's coming out quite well. I wanted this scene to really make a statement because this is the first and main thing you see when you enter the train room, so I really wanted it to stand out, and I think it does that quite well. Once we get our bridge installed, I think it'll bring it along a whole lot better and make even more of a statement. By far, our most popular addition to this layout is definitely the storm cloud above it. A lot of people really like this cloud, and hell, I do too. This thing's awesome. It was pretty easy to install. It's constructed out of thick construction board, polyfill, and LED lighting, or an LED light strip, I should say. The LED lighting does have Bluetooth capability as well. It has sound control or sound activation. So I have a little Bluetooth speaker under the layout. I'll turn on a thunderstorm sound to that speaker, and the light picks that up, so the lightning pulsates with the thunder. It gives off a really, really cool effect, especially at night. This thing turned out awesome. Maybe we'll do another video on this in the future. Along with our cloud, we obviously also got our backdrops installed. I still got to doctor these up in a couple places. I kind of want to replace the one over here to the left, but that's a topic for a different day. Obviously with those, we got our upper level installed, or our upper deck, if you will. Not a whole lot going on with this yet. This is actually going to lead into the second part of today's video, which we'll get to here in just a moment. But with that, we got our track up, and we also got our new bridge built over here. And again, we really haven't done anything with this yet. I had to get this installed in the track work just to get a feel for where the track needed to be, and that did its job. So we'll get to this in the future. But along with that, we got our tunnels and tunnel portholes installed. That took quite a bit of time as well, carving all of that out of foam. But I think they come out pretty good. In our last scenery video, or where we last left off, was our second scene that we got installed, our lake and bridge scene. I think this come out pretty well. Obviously, it's not finished yet, as I mentioned in that video, but looking damn good, I do believe. The bridge itself was constructed out of girder bridge plates from Scenic Express. And then we got MTH piers for the supports of the bridge. And then, of course, for the ground is a whole bunch of foam, plaster cloth, paint, and obviously a ton of ground cover. But yeah, it looks really well. The lake is Woodland Scenic's water products. Color could have come out better, as I mentioned in that video, but I've learned to love it. It is what it is. It's coming out pretty decent. The last things we did, which I haven't featured in a video yet, were our hillsides in the corners on the upper level of the layout. They're kind of hard to see right now with the Halloween stuff in front. But these were constructed out of pink foam once again. These give a nice illusion going into the backdrop, I think, and just give a nice impressive look. Obviously, they'll look a whole lot better once we get some more stuff placed in front of them. But yeah, not too shabby. I really like the way these play off of the backdrop. They fit in quite well. And that leads us into today's video and the goodies that we got. We're finally getting ready to get back to work here on the upper level of the layout. In that last scenery video we left off, I stated I wanted to install a farm scene on this upper level of the layout. We picked up an MTH barn and a Lionel house, and we were on our way. I stated I needed to pick up quite a few more goodies to get started working on this upper level, and we finally got a good little stash of stuff to get started. Let's check out what we got. Whew, that's a pile of stuff. First time seeing it all together. Who needs York, right? Haha! But seriously, a big thank you goes out to my folks, my buddy Jake, and the Mrs. Sabrina. I greatly appreciate the items that you got me. And this is going to go a long way to getting the scene on the elevated section put together. I think it's safe to say we're off to a great start, and we're good to get started on the elevated section of the layout. What do you guys say? Starting out, the folks got me this beautiful church from Menards. It's actually a first for me. It's the Menards Gold line. I've never seen that before. It comes in a nice fancy box, but it is a beautiful church. Of course, obviously, along with our farm scene, we're going to have a church scene too. To go with the church scene, I also picked up some tombstones, as well as some white picket fence to make the graveyard. I think that'll be really neat. I would like to find, if I can, or if anybody on here knows, maybe get a little casket, maybe do a little funeral in the graveyard, or perhaps maybe do a wedding, have a couple out front and some folks. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. To go along with our church scene, we also got some more trees. Nothing better than trees on the layout. You guys know my feelings on that. But for the country road that's going to be in between the church and the farm, also picked up some more utility poles, as well as some transformer connect poles and systems to connect the power poles to all the buildings that are going to be going up. I'm really looking forward to this. I really like these telephone poles quite a bit. I've never used the transformer connect set, so I'm real interested to try this out. I think that'll add quite a bit. Also for the road, we got some street lights. I like these things a lot. I've got them over on the other layout as well. Not the brightest lights in the world, but I do really like the way that they look. The main bulk of stuff, of course, is for the farm. Got quite a number of accessories for it. As you can see, we got some hay bales. Got a nice little cute tractor. Picked that thing up off eBay. I really like how that thing looks. It's 1/43 scale. It's a little bit on the larger side, but I think it'll pull it off just perfect. And of course, we got some animals, some cows and some pigs. A windmill. Gotta have a windmill to go with the barn. Also picked up some barbed wired fence for the animals. I might pick up some horses or something too to go along with them. And then we go on to our crops. I got a ton of corn. I think over 120 corn stalks that we got to put up. That's going to be fun. And a big thank you to the missus. We got some more. She picked these up from Scenic Express as well. Some tomato plants, red cabbage, cauliflower, and then, of course, my favorite, the turkeys. These things are adorable. Check those out. Jake has really been putting in some work sending me some vehicles. Hell, I don't even know if I have them all here, to tell you the truth. I went looking around. I think I got them all. Fingers crossed. But he sent us a whole kit and caboodle. A bunch of Dodge trucks, some new and some old, or I guess I should say newer. Of course, some Mopar police cars, Firebirds. We got a Gran Torino, Starsky and Hutch, a Mork and Mindy Jeep, pretty cool, as well as a new Ram truck. Might look a little out of place, but you know what's going on the layout. And lastly, of course, we got to do ground cover. Had to pick up some more glue. I go through so much of that glue, it's silly. And then we got our dirt. That dirt, I really like how that turns out, so I'm going to continue on with that. I go through quite a bit of that as well, along with the glue. I'm probably going to have to pick up some more turfs, grass, and whatnot, but that'll come in time. That's the first thing that needs to go down anyway. There is one more piece I might try and squeeze in up here to go along with the farm. This Menards UFO scene, the aliens abducting the cow. It's a really cool little piece. This was on the layout back in its tubular track days. Like I say, I don't know if it's going to make it back on yet or not. It depends on how it's going to look once I get those other structures put up. I don't want to make it too crowded up here. I don't want to have too much going on. And like I said, we got all those crops to put up here as well with the buildings. So we'll have to see how it looks once we get everything else up in place. But yeah, guys, like I say, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any ideas or suggestions, shoot those to me too. And by all means, if you have any leads on any products or maybe some small detailed parts to accompany these scenes, by all means, please shoot those to me too. I've always got my eyes out for the little detailed parts. As they say, the devil's in the details, and those little parts are what brings the scenes all together and makes them pop. Like I say, I always got my eye out for that kind of stuff. It probably will be a little while till we get going on actually installing this. Probably won't happen until after Halloween. I can pull the Halloween stuff down off of the layout. But I am really looking forward to getting this stuff up. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this overview and the 1-year anniversary of the layout, as well as all the new products that just arrived. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. But anyways, guys, until next time, my name is Zach, and this is Country Bunkers Trains. Y'all take care. I'll see you the next go-round.